Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. It's 2 o'clock. It's Tuesday afternoon, and it's time for Quarantine Choir. It's a great pleasure to see you all. Thank you for joining me, whether you're here live or whether you're coming along later on. Of course, one of the great things about this model is you can sing along anytime you like. You can pause, you can rewind, you can even skip over the talky bits and just get straight to the singing. Now, before we start, I want to thank every one of you who was here with me on Sunday morning for our Sacred Sing. If you recall, we did a rather special, slightly rushed Sacred Sing this past Sunday, and that was to support my good friends at the Great Western Air Ambulance Charity, who are running a special event on that day called the 2.6 Challenge. And I urged you folks who are watching, if you could, to go and donate to that cause. Well, I had an email from Joe, who is one of the leads at the charity this morning, and he let me know that as a result of that broadcast and your generous donations, we raised over £486 just from this channel for that charity. That is an amazing sum. Thank you so much, everybody. Joe's delighted and wanted me to pass on his thanks to you. I think that's one of the greatest things that this channel's produced so far, and a great indication of how when people come together and sing and can be inspired, we can go on to do great things. So well done. Thank you, everybody. I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of us. What a great thing we did there. Thanks all. Now, this afternoon, I don't know about you, but where I am, as I've already said to those who are here slightly early, the weather is terrible. And the sky is dark and grey and the rain is lashing the windows. I've spent all morning making a video about Handel, and so I need a bit of cheering up this afternoon. So our programme today is going to be mostly light-hearted. There's a work song in there. I've definitely felt the need for a work song. I've been here editing my fingers to the bone, ladies and gentlemen, making a documentary about Handel. So we'll start with a boat for our warm-up. We'll then sing the fantastic Erie Canal, which is a good old work song and is a good way of getting the frustration out. And then we've got a special treat. We've got a couple of songs from the Pirates of Penzance. We'll start by learning a new song. For most people, this is Ruth's song from the very first couple of scenes in Pirates, and then we'll finish with The Policeman's Lot Is Not a Happy One. Now, hopefully you folks have had a chance to warm yourselves up a little bit. If not, we'll do a warm-up as we always do. But if you're finding that getting started singing in the afternoon is a little bit tricky, do go and watch my warm-up videos. There are 3. There'll be a 4th one coming online later this week, early next week. It's my series called Upwarming, and you can watch all 3 in a row, and that will give you a really good start to your singing day. I also want to remind you, please, everybody, to have your drink of water handy, and make sure that you keep yourself hydrated throughout the session. So I think without any further ado, we should begin our warm-up. So for those of you that are happy to and are able to, can I invite you all to stand up for me? And those of you that aren't able to join us in standing today, that's absolutely fine. Just bring yourself to the edge of your seat, as always. Plant your feet flat on the floor. Give yourself a straight back and a long neck. Those of you that are standing, as always, please plant your feet flat on the floor. Give yourself that straight back as before and the long neck. And everybody, please, start to take some nice deep breaths in and out in your own time, in your own style. And just use this as an opportunity to get rid of anything that's stressing you, anything that's worrying you. What you might want to do if you're near a window is to turn and just face out of that window and direct your breath off, out, into the world. Of course, you're quite welcome to breathe in this direction as well. But just make sure that as you're taking those deep breaths, perhaps as we go, we're going to open our mouths just a little bit taller each time, so the breath feels colder at the back of our throat when we inhale. So just repeat that a few times for me, please, everybody. That's wonderful. And as you're taking those deep breaths in, allow your shoulders to relax on the exhale. So breathe in and breathe out and relax your shoulders. And perhaps with each one you could relax more and more. Open your mouth nice and tall. Take that tall breath in and blow the air out and relax. Wonderful. And now just breathing normally but nice and deeply. Roll your shoulders around for me, everybody. Just loosen them up. Keep this nice and gentle to begin with. We're going to do a slightly more Interesting, slightly fun warm-up in a minute. Some of you will know this one, the pirate yo-hos, quite appropriate for pirates today. We're going to roll our shoulders round first. And remember, keep these movements nice and gentle. Don't overdo it. Thank you, everybody. And bring your shoulders up to your ears and let them fall. And just shake your arms out a little bit to just get rid of any of that tension. And just be aware of any tension you're carrying in your neck at the moment. And just give yourself permission to start relaxing and letting that tension drain away. Perhaps take a nice deep breath in, and as you blow out, again, relax your neck. And again, breathe in and blow and relax. Excellent, everybody. And then, as we always do, we're just going to tilt our head over to one side just to feel the stretch along the long side. Head to the middle, take it the other way, and to the middle, and now forwards. Feel the stretch along the back, head to the middle. Well done, everybody. And we'll just repeat that exercise. Take your head over to one side. Again, feel the stretch, head to the middle, take it the other way, to the middle, and forwards. And to the middle. And within those 3 movements, as always, please, everybody, just let your head roll around nice and gently. Well done. Thanks all. Now we'll do our customary humming, and instead of just one note today, we're gonna hum up and back down. Okay, so with me and now ooh, oh. Still oh. Oh. E for egg. Still air. And ah. Ah. One more. Ah. Thank you very much indeed. You will notice that there's a new microphone set up. This is because the old one, that arm thing, disintegrated spectacularly on Friday. You get what you pay for, it seems. And even though it was quite expensive, it clearly wasn't expensive enough. So I have this on a traditional mic stand. The downside is I can't really see my hands when I'm playing. And so any mistakes today are entirely the fault of this. Nothing at all to the fact that I'm not a desperately good pianist. So what we're going to do, honestly, that's true. We're going to start off today with a boat, haste to the ferry. If you're new to the channel, if you're one of our very recent subscribers, if you're perhaps even our 2000th subscriber who came online yesterday, this is one of the songs that we did in the first couple of weeks of home choir. You can go and watch the teaching video for this. If you just put in quarantine choir, a boat, you'll find that video very quickly. There's a silly video of 3 of me singing this all together. But we use this as a little bit of a warm-up. Actually, I'll put it in slightly higher key, I think. We'll sing it here, okay? And if you know this one, sing along. It's a very, very old song. It's from the 16th century. And it goes like this. A boat, haste to the ferry, for we'll go over to be merry, to laugh and sing and drink old sherry. So it's a very short little song. It would help if I put the words up on screen. There we go. So for those who don't know the song, let's just very quickly sing it through. So it goes, a boat, haste to the ferry. Everybody, a boat, haste to the ferry. Very nice. The next line goes, for we'll go over to be merry. Everybody, for we'll go over to be merry. And the last line, to laugh and sing and drink old sherry. And to laugh and sing and drink old sherry. Excellent. So we run those one into the other. We go round and round and round. Let's sing the whole thing together. Ready? Nice deep breath. Here we go. A boat, haste to the ferry, for we'll go over to be merry, to laugh and sing and drink old sherry. A boat, haste to the ferry, for we'll go over to be merry, to laugh and sing and drink old sherry. Excellent, everybody. Now, the fun with this, of course, is singing it as part of a round. So I'm going to challenge you. If you've not sung this as part of a round before, let me start the first line, and then you start from the beginning and see if you can match your voice along with mine. If you're new to singing in harmony, this might be a bit of a challenge. So a little tip when you're singing along with other people, particularly when you're singing online and nobody can hear you, if you just fold this little flap of skin here, just over your ear, and just press it as if you're talking to the producer in the box, that sort of thing, you can still hear me, but you can hear your voice slightly louder. And that's just a way of learning to hear both at the same time. Of course, the more experienced you are, the easier it gets. If there are more than one of you in the room, you have to sing it in harmony. That's the law. Okay. Are we ready? We're going to sing it through a couple of times. A boat, haste to the ferry, for we'll go over to be merry, to laugh and sing and drink old sherry. A boat, haste to the ferry, for we'll go over to be merry, to laugh and sing and drink old sherry. A boat, haste to the ferry, for we'll go over to be merry, to laugh and sing and drink old sherry. Thank you, everybody. A great start to our sing today. Let's move on and have a look at our first full song. Now, this one, again, is from very, very early on in the Quarantine Choir. This one is from, I think, maybe even day 2 or day 3. This is Erie Canal. Now, if any of you are looking for the lyrics for any of these songs, do remember they are in the description of the video. If you find the little arrow beneath me, you will be able to follow along. We've got all the lyrics for today. Or if you want to go back and look them up, they're there as well. And in fact, there's a score for this one, and that's linked to the very first video. Again, if you put Quarantine Choir, Erie Canal, that's E-R-I-E. You'll find that video and you can get your score. If you want to pause the stream, you can do that now and come back when you've got it. But for those of you that know this one, as I said, when I was introducing the session today, this is a work song. It's got this feeling of footsteps just plodding along, because this man's been walking the canals for years. The only companion is his trusty mule, and her name is Sal. If you know this one, sing with me. Here we go. I got a mule and her name is Sal. 15 miles on the Erie Canal. She's a good old worker and a good old pal. 15 miles on the Erie Canal. We hauled some barges in our day, filled with lumber, coal and hay, and every inch of the way we know, from Albany to Buffalo. Low bridge, everybody down. Low bridge, 'cause we're coming to a town. And you'll always know your neighbour, you'll always know your pal, if you've ever navigated on the Erie Canal. Where would I be if I lost my pal? 15 miles on the Erie Canal. I'd like to see a mule good as my Sal. 15 miles on the Erie Canal. A friend of mine once got her sore. Now he's got a broken jaw, 'cause she let fly with her on tow and kicked him back to Buffalo. Low bridge, everybody down. Low bridge, 'cause we're coming to a town. And you'll always know your neighbour, you'll always know your pal, if you've ever navigated on the Erie Canal. Thanks, everybody. Well done. Well done. I realised as I was singing, I know about 6 versions of that song, and I hadn't looked at the words for a while. So that's why I'm at the beginning of that second verse. Great stuff. Well, I'm going to have a sip of my drink and just take an opportunity to just say how people are doing. Seems that lots of people are not very well today. Sorry to hear that. So, so do please... Okay, Kit Kat's telling me that I need to sort the volume level out. Well, okay, thanks, Kit Kat. And sorry that you've got a headache. I hope I'm not contributing to it. Well, those of you that are not feeling well, I hope you feel much better soon. I think, in all seriousness, the change in the weather is going to affect everybody. So do take care and look after yourselves. Drink lots and lots of water. That's going to help, I think. Now then, let's have a look at today's song. This is Ruth's song from the Pirates of Penzance. And if you've ever sung in a GNS society, you know, as Tom Lehrer memorably said about Gilbert and Sullivan, full of words and music and signifying nothing, which I think is a little bit harsh, but on the other hand, there's a lot to be said for it. Now then, this song is from early on in the Pirates of Penzance. The story is about young Frederick, who is he's the apprentice to the pirate king of the Pirates of Penzance. And the show opens and everyone's celebrating Frederick's 21st birthday. And this means he is now a man and he can make his own way in the world. And everyone's celebrating, including Frederick. And at the end of the celebration, he turns to everybody and says, "Thank you so much for your kindness and your support. And now I'm going to leave you and I'm going to devote my life to exterminating you because you're a vicious bunch of pirates." At this point, Ruth, who is Frederick's nursemaid, who's been with him all the way through ever since he was a boy and ended up apprenticed to the Pirate King, she comes forward and explains how it is that such a noble young man has ended up in the company of these vicious pirates. And it's a typical song by Gilbert, in that it all hangs on wordplay and silliness. And so if you've never heard this one before, it's got some very silly words. If you're not from the UK, particularly from England, some of these words are going to be rather strange. But just do bear in mind that the whole thing hinges on the fact that Ruth herself is a bit deaf. And when she was told to take Frederick, who was a brave young boy, and make him apprentice to a ship's pilot, she took him instead and made him apprentice to a pirate. And on that, the entire show hangs. That's very typical of Gilbert and Sullivan's humour, particularly Gilbert. So this is how this song goes. And yes, I'm going to make excuses, Kit Kat, the fact I can't see the keys, because this is quite tricky. Here we go. When Frederick was a little lad, he proved so brave and daring. His father thought he'd prentice him to some career seafaring. I was, alas, his nursery maid, and so it fell to my lot to take and bind the promising boy apprentice to a pilot. A life not bad for a hardy lad, though surely not a shy lot. Though I'm a nurse, you might do worse than make your boy a pilot. I was a stupid nursery maid, on breakers always steering, and I did not catch the word aright through being hard of hearing, mistaking my instructions which within my brain did gyrate. I went and bound this promising boy apprentice to a pirate. A sad mistake it was to make and doom him to a vile lot. I bound him to a pirate, you, instead of to a pilot. I soon found out beyond all doubt the scope of this disaster, but I hadn't the face to return to my place and break it to my master. A nursery maid is not afraid of what you people call work. So I made up my mind to go as a kind of piratical maid of all work. And that is how you find me now, a member of your shy lot, which you wouldn't have found had he been bound apprentice to a pilot. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of silliness for a rainy day. So let's have a little look at the melody for that, and then we can have some fun singing it. Now notice, each time you sing it, the music is very much a slave, as it were, of the words. And whenever you perform Gilbert and Sullivan, you must always take note of what Gilbert's trying to put across in terms of humour, and really play it up for laughs. Now, of course, this is sung by a lady in the show, and by a contralto, a low-voiced lady. One of the jokes later on is that as Ruth is the only woman that Frederick has ever recalled seeing, she is therefore the most beautiful woman he's ever seen, and he's madly in love with her, he thinks. It's a very, very silly show. If you've not seen it, it is worth looking up on YouTube. There's lots of performances of it. So now look, the opening, you get this this nice introduction which ends, gives you your first note, and we sing, when Frederick was a little lad, he proved so brave and daring. Now if you don't have that low note, just sing the same note twice. Okay, so let's all sing together. When Frederick was a little lad. And when Frederick was a little lad, he proved so brave and daring. Excellent. The next line, same as the first musically, different words. His father thought he'd prentice him to some career seafaring. Almost the same. Last two notes are different. So sing that with me. His father thought. And his father thought he'd prentice him to some career seafaring. Very nice. The third line, we go off in a different direction. I was, alas, his nursery maid, and so it fell to my lot. Let's sing that together. I was, alas, his nursery maid, and so it fell to my lot. Excellent. Then we start on that note, and we go back to the minor. To take and bind this promising boy, apprentice to a pilot. And again, if you don't have the lower note, just sing apprentice to a pilot. So let's sing that last line. To take and bind the promising boy. 1 and 2. To take and bind the promising boy, apprentice to a pilot. Excellent. Now let's sing that all the way through from the beginning to there. And do make sure, well, first of all, that you've had a drink of water and that you are working really hard at the front of your mouth. As Glyn is saying in the comments, this is a very, very wordy piece. And so make sure that you're feeling all of those words very much at the front of your mouth, because that's where the comedy lies. Okay, so let's go from the very beginning. There's your first note. I'll give you a bar in. And when Frederick was a little lad, he proved so brave and daring. His father thought he'd prentice him to some career seafaring. I was, alas, his nursery maid, and so it fell to my lot to take and bind the promising boy, apprentice to a pilot. Very nice. Then we carry on, and what's lovely about this is that Sullivan, because the words are in two halves effectively, you've got the minor mode, he then switches to the major mode, and we sing, a life not bad for a hardy lad, everybody, and a life not bad for a hardy lad. Very nice. He then sings, well, she sings, though surely not a high lot, and with me, though surely not a high lot. That's a little bit tricky, so let's do it one more time. Though surely not a high lot. Excellent. And then we sing, though I'm a nurse, you might do worse. Sing that for me. And though I'm a nurse, you might do worse. And there's a little hold on that note before the last line. Then make your boy a pilot, and then make your boy a pilot. Very nice. Let's go back to a life not bad for a hardy lad. Ready? 1 and 2. A life not bad for a hardy lad, though surely not a high lot. Though I'm a nurse, you might do worse than make your boy a pilot. Excellent, everybody. So, each time we sing that verse and the little bit in the major all the way through, we've got to look out for opportunities to find a bit of humour. Now, in the second verse, it's the same music. I was a stupid nursery maid on breakers always steering, and I did not catch the word aright through being hard of hearing. Now, if you were all on stage and you were singing this role, you'd indicate to the audience through being hard of hearing. So could you all do that, please? All right. I want you to all play the part of Ruth this afternoon. It doesn't matter your age or gender or where in the world you are. We are all playing the part of Ruth, the nursery maid. Okay. So please inhabit the role. Take it seriously, particularly you, Dr. Glynn. Now then, carrying on. Mistaking my instructions, which within my brain did gyrate. And make sure you pronounce the word gyrate very, very clearly, because part of the fun is that you then rhyme it with to take and bind the promising boy apprentice to a pirate. Okay, a pirate. Thank you. It has to rhyme with gyrate. And then a sad mistake it was to make and doom him to a vile lot. I bound him to a pirate, and then a break there, and we go, you! Because if you're on stage, you then point at the Pirate King instead of to a pilot. Okay, so let's sing that second verse all the way through, and let's have fun acting it. Wherever you are, as I say. Now you are on the beach of in Cornwall, and you are singing to the Pirate King. So let's sing, I was a stupid nursery maid, okay? I was a stupid nursery maid on breakers always steering, and I did not catch the word aright through being hard of hearing, mistaking my instructions which within my brain did gyrate. I took and bound this promising boy apprentice to a pirate. A sad mistake it was to make and doom him to a vile lot. I bound him to a pirate, you, instead of to a pilot. Excellent. We then sing, the third verse. I soon found out beyond all doubt the scope of this disaster, but I hadn't the face to return to my place and break it to my master. A nursery maid is not afraid of what you people call work. So I made up my mind to go as a kind of piratical maid of all work. So really enjoy that little run as Ruth explains that she couldn't go home. And do bear that in mind. Imagine having been put in charge of this lovely, promising boy and say, go and make him apprentice to a ship's pilot, and you take him and make him the apprentice to the Pirate King. Not entirely sure that you get a good reference after that particular event. So when you sing that, hadn't the face to return to my place and break it to my master, a little bit of that show on your face and come into your voice. I've always said to my singers when they're doing this, that one through your teeth. I hadn't the face to return to my place and break it to my master. Oops. And then that rather silly line, the nursery maid is not afraid of what you people call work. So I made up my mind to go as a kind of piratical maid of all work. That means she's just there. She does everything on board ship. And then that last lovely section in the major. And that is how you find me now, a member of your shy lot, which you wouldn't have found had he been bound apprentice to a pilot. Okay? So let's sing it from the very beginning, everybody. And have a little sip of your drink. How are we doing? Oh, my lovely friend Becky's online. Hello, Becky. Lovely to see you. Tom O'Brien is here somewhere. So, Tom, Mrs. Elton's online. Make sure you've done your homework. Okay. So we're going to sing Ruth's song from the Pirates of Penzance. Do please inhabit this role. Okay. In the show, she's a lady in her late 40s, apparently. And she's singing to a young lad of 21 and a scourge of pirates, all sitting around, all picking their teeth with their cutlasses and going, "Arr, ha, 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 ha." And so she comes forward. She's the only woman on board ship, and she sings this song. Okay, so here we go, everybody. Have fun, and... When Frederick was a little lad, he proved so brave and daring. His father thought he'd prentice him to some career seafaring. I was, alas, his nursery maid, and so it fell to my lot to take and bind the promising boy apprentice to a pilot. A life not bad for a hardy lad, though surely not a high lot. Though I'm a nurse, you might do worse than make your boy a pilot. I was a stupid nursery maid on breakers always steering, and I did not catch the word aright through being hard of hearing, mistaking my instructions which within my brain did gyrate. I took and bound this promising boy apprentice to a pirate. A sad mistake it was to make and doom him to a vile lot. I bound him to a pirate, you, instead of to a pilot. I soon found out beyond all doubt the scope of this disaster, but I hadn't the face to return to my place and break it to my master. A nursery maid is not afraid of what you people call work, so I made up my mind to go as a kind of piratical maid of all work. And that is how you find me now, a member of your shy lot, which you wouldn't have found had he been bound apprentice to a pilot. Well done, everybody. Thank you very much indeed. At that point in the show, there's normally rapturous applause from not only the audience, but from the pirates themselves. So give yourselves that round of applause. Well done all. Excellent. Okay. What are people saying? We need pirate hats, yo-ho-ho, me hearties, and eye patches. Absolutely you do. It's that you know that joke? What's a pirate's favourite letter? I see. Anyone who says it's R, you'd think it'd be R, but a pirate's first love be the sea. Ha ha ha. I was told that one by my daughter. She got me. She absolutely did. Okay. So, folks, got one more song today, and we know this one really well. Those of us who've been on the channel, this is A Policeman's Lot is Not a Happy One. And again, if you're new to the channel, this one was a very special song. I recorded a very special video with the wonderful Bristol Gilbert and Sullivan Operatic Society. If you've not seen it, it really is worth watching. So after this, if you put in Quarantine Choir Policeman's Lot, you'll find that video. And it was dedicated to all of the wonderful police that are doing such a good job of helping keep us safe. And in particular to my brother-in-law, Russell, who is a policeman and is doing an incredible job. So once again, I want to dedicate this song. And in fact, I'll dedicate this to all of our emergency services who are still out there working, keeping us all safe and having a pretty tough time of it all. And so with that in mind, let's sing this song. And it really does illustrate to all of us that although time may have moved on, A Policeman's Lot is still not a happy one. At some point we should probably rewrite this for 2020, but for now I still think Gilbert got it just about right, didn't he? Okay, so as Michael's saying, time to take off your pirate hats and put on your policeman's hat. I'm wondering if mine's around. No, I think I last saw it on my 6-year-old son's head disappearing off a couple of weeks ago. So I don't have my policeman's helmet. You'll just have to use your imagination. And we're all going to sing this one together. Here we go. When a felon's not engaged in his employment, or maturing his felonious little plans, his capacity for innocent enjoyment, is just as great as any honest man's. Our feelings we with difficulty smother, when constabulary duty's to be done. I'll take one consideration with another. A policeman's lot is not a happy one. When constabulary duty's to be done, a policeman's lot is not a happy one. When the enterprising burglar's not a burgling, when the cutthroat isn't occupied in crime, he loves to hear the little brook a-gurgling, and listen to the merry village chime. When the coster's finished jumping on his mother, he loves to lie a-basking in the sun. I'll take one consideration with another. A policeman's lot is not a nappy one. When constabulary duty's to be done, a policeman's lot is not a nappy one. Thank you very much. Evening all. Great job today, everybody. As I said, I just felt like singing some silly songs to brighten the mood as the day is so miserable. Now, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this video, I hope it's done a bit to lighten your mood. If it helps, if you want to sing it through again, go and rewind it, get a bit of costume on, wave a truncheon around, chase your cat round the house with a cutlass, and brighten your day. Now, all of you, if you're out there, a few people have said on the stream here, they're not feeling very well today, so my love to all of you, and do take care. Look after yourselves, drink plenty of water, particularly after these singing sessions. Now, we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be singing that beautiful Eriskay love lilt, and we'll be having a look at a lovely piece called Roses of Picardy, which I've been promising for a while. So a lovely song with a more pastoral approach. Thursday, look out for the teaching video for Va Pensiero, and then a special treat for Friday. I won't tell you what it is, but it's going to be a bit of gospel music to take us through into the weekend. So once again, everybody, thank you for being part of this fantastic choir. As I've said, we have over 2,000 subscribed members, which is absolutely unbelievable. After only, 6.5 weeks, it's phenomenal. So thank you for all your support and your kind comments. Thank you for being here live. If you've enjoyed it, do consider giving me a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow for more great singing. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.